Hong Kong Children's Hospital, specializing in pediatric complexities, has experienced significant doctor shortages in recent months. The hospital has borrowed staff from network hospitals but still faces operational shortfalls, necessitating the temporary closure of its ENT department. The hospital authority confirmed staff shortages, stating that since November, services have been temporarily adjusted, halting new admissions and transferring existing patients to other public hospitals, affecting over 500 children. They apologized to affected children and parents. A public hospital ENT specialist noted the limited number of doctors specializing in children, highlighting the significant impact of even minor staff losses. Patient advocates expressed concern that the closure of individual specialties within the hospital's cross-disciplinary service model could compromise comprehensive patient care. Due to staff shortages, the ENT department at Hong Kong Children's Hospital temporarily suspended operations, leaving 9-year-old Shi, a rare disease patient, without access to her botulinum toxin treatment. Transferred in October, she faced initial refusal from the new hospital and further complications with medication arrangements. Shi's mother expressed concern over the hospital's closure and the difficulties encountered during the transfer process. The Hong Kong Broadcasting Corporation's satirical news program, Headline News, faced a 2020 contempt of police ruling by the Communications Authority, leading to a judicial review and subsequent appeals by the RTHK Staff Union, the Hong Kong Journalists Association, and the Communications Authority itself. The Court of Appeal dismissed the Communications Authority's appeal, partially upholding those of the union and the association. The Court of Appeal also subsequently rejected the authority's application for leave to appeal to the Court of Final Appeal, citing a lack of significant legal points and ordering the authority to pay 180,000 Hong Kong dollars in legal costs. West Kowloon Cultural District Authority, WKCDA, anticipates exhausting its 21.6 billion Hong Kong dollars Legislative Council allocation by year-end. Despite this, CEO Fong Cheng Suk Yi reports positive progress in fiscal efficiency, with projected operating deficits remaining relatively stable. 5.78 billion Hong Kong dollars in 2023-24 and approximately 1 billion Hong Kong dollars in 2024-25, excluding interest income. While ticket sales decreased by about 20%, WKCDA plans to boost revenue and attendance through an inward and outward strategy, including a cultural festival in Shanghai mid-year to strengthen cultural exchange and attract visitors from the Greater Shanghai and Yangtze River Delta region. Hong Kong's Ocean Park's panda twins will make their public debut on the 16th of this month. A media preview revealed the cubs, who currently sleep 15 to 18 hours a day with unpredictable schedules, making it difficult to guarantee sightings of them awake. To promote a culture of mediation, the government has begun including mediation clauses in its contracts, requiring parties to attempt mediation before litigation. In accordance with the prevailing territory's mediation rules, the Secretary for Justice, Paul Lam, stated that the government hopes this initiative will encourage private companies to adopt similar practices, fostering a mediation-first approach. The Development Bureau announced new measures to protect foreign construction workers under the Construction Industry Imported Labor Scheme, addressing past complaints of unfair treatment, such as wage deductions and agency fees. These measures, welcomed by the industry, require agents to refrain from charging workers and hold contractors responsible for ensuring compliance, thereby safeguarding both workers' rights and employers' interests. The government's Construction Industry Imported Labor Scheme, which had a temporary halt on new applications last year, has approved 7 new applications totaling 935 foreign worker quotas in its 6th round. While some labor unions express concern and urge a review of the scheme's suitability given recent market fluctuations, business associations view the approval, largely for electromechanical workers, as reasonable due to ongoing labor shortages in that sector. The USPS briefly suspended, then resumed, accepting packages from mainland China and Hong Kong on Tuesday, U.S. time, while Hong Kong Post continues to suspend mail service to the U.S. until further notice. The reason for the USPS's temporary suspension remains unclear. Hong Kong's Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development, Algernon Yao, downplayed the impact of the U.S.'s 10% tariff on goods from Hong Kong, expressing dissatisfaction with the U.S. disregard for Hong Kong's separate WTO member status and its autonomous customs territory under the Basic Law. The Hong Kong General Chamber of Commerce echoed this assessment, citing limited economic impact due to pre-existing relocation of production lines. Some scholars predict the U.S. will treat Hong Kong similarly to mainland Chinese cities. Beyond pandas, what other national treasures come to mind? The 20th annual Hong Kong Pet Expo showcased a new animal diversity pavilion featuring various reptiles such as pythons and sulcata tortoises. A highlight was the first ever Hong Kong exhibition of the Yaoshan crocodile lizard, a national Class 1 protected animal, alongside the panda, cared for by secondary school students and teachers. This remarkable creature, slightly longer than an adult's hand, has inspired awe, with one student remarking, "It's amazing. I never thought our school could care for a national treasure." A Tesla driver was arrested for dangerous driving after a serious accident in Cheung Wan. Yesterday, the car lost control, mounting a central reservation and injuring 3 pedestrians, including 2 female students, one of whom was trapped and unconscious. All 3 were hospitalized. The case is being investigated by the West Kowloon Traffic Accident Investigation Team. The trial of Jimmy Lai and Apple Daily for conspiring with foreign forces entered its 129th day. Lai maintained his contact with Lau Chu-dik, alleged spiritual leader of a radical group, was to encourage the formation of a leadership team to regulate the group's actions. The prosecution, citing Apple Daily articles about Lau, including one titled "Radical Activist Joins International Resistance," questioned Lai's claim of unawareness of Lau's alleged connections to violent extremism and suggested Lai sought Lau's international lobbying efforts. Lai denied these allegations. Furthermore, when questioned by the judge about Lau's advocacy for Hong Kong independence, Lai stated he was unaware of Lau's political views. The trial of the now disbanded Hong Kong Alliance. Its former chairman Lee Chuk-yan, former vice chairman Albert Ho, and Chow Hang-tung, charged under the national security law with inciting subversion, may be delayed from its scheduled May start date due to scheduling conflicts with the assigned national security judges. Legislators from various parties continued to submit suggestions to Financial Secretary Paul Chan on the budget, with the Labour Party urging the government to maintain the existing $2 elderly passenger fare scheme while addressing the issue of short rides on long routes. They also opposed a pay freeze or cut for civil servants, fearing it would trigger similar actions in the private sector. Meanwhile, the C-15+ lawmakers met with Chan, with Election Committee member Lam Soo Lu suggesting a freeze on civil service recruitment and pay until the government's finances return to balance. A coroner's inquest is underway regarding the death of local race car driver Wong Kwai-wah, who died after being apprehended by police last year during a drug investigation in Kau Po village, Cam Tin, Yuen Long. Police testimony indicates Wong attempted to flee the scene, struggling violently and striking his head on the steering wheel. A medical examiner determined the cause of death to be natural causes, an acute myocardial infarction complicated by bronchopneumonia, exacerbated by pre-existing coronary artery disease. The injuries sustained during the arrest were deemed non-fatal. The jury is expected to reach a verdict shortly. Doctors at Tuen Mun Hospital treating Wong Kwai-wah stated that while she suffered an orbital fracture and muscle swelling in her left eye, the cause of her injuries could not be definitively determined. The forensic pathologist indicated that Ms. Wong had significant pre-existing blockage of the coronary artery, resulting in poor blood supply, combined with a history of myocardial infarction. Her emotional and physical struggle may have elevated blood pressure, stressing her heart and triggering an acute myocardial infarction. Regarding her facial injuries, the pathologist acknowledged that they could have resulted from impact with the steering wheel, but could not confirm whether they were caused by an assault. Former Hong Kong water polo team head coach Koo Yu Fat pleaded guilty to one count of fraud yesterday at the district court. He was charged by the Independent Commission Against Corruption (ICAC) for falsely claiming government subsidies exceeding 410,000 Hong Kong dollars from the Hong Kong Sports Institute, by misrepresenting athletes' training records, while the defense argued the funds, collected through an unofficial scheme requiring athletes to return portions of their subsidies, were used for team expenses and competitions, not personal gain. Sentencing is adjourned until March 7 to allow for a social service report. After over 3 years of preparation, Guangdong Provincial Museum in Guangzhou proudly presents Brilliant Times, an exhibition of exquisite Qing Dynasty Guangdong clocks, showcasing over 110 Guangdong clocks and related artifacts. Highlights include 46 pieces from the Palace Museum, along with significant contributions from the Chengdu Mountain Resort Museum, the Summer Palace Administration, and the Guangdong Folk Arts Museum. This free exhibition, running until April 6, offers the public a rare opportunity to witness these imperial treasures. Guangdong Provincial Museum offers many free exhibitions. easily accessible with advance online registration via WeChat. Conveniently, the registration system accepts Hong Kong and Macau resident permits, requiring only a mainland Chinese phone number for verification. Former principal of Yan Chai Hospital Zhao Sang Hock Wan Primary School, Zhao, was arrested by the Independent Commission Against Corruption, ICAC, and pleaded guilty to 4 counts of fraud yesterday for defrauding the school of over 270,000 Hong Kong dollars by falsely claiming unpaid salaries and unauthorized funds for school events. He used over 140,000 Hong Kong dollars of the fraudulently obtained funds for gambling and debt repayment. Sentencing is adjourned to February 21. Pending a background report, he remains in custody. Several pro-establishment legislators proposed strengthening the Critical Infrastructure Bill during its Legislative Council committee review, including suggestions for local backups to mitigate geopolitical risks. The Security Bureau's permanent secretary welcomed these proposals, assuring their consideration in the upcoming guidelines. Police are investigating the suspicious deaths of 3 puppies and the illness of a 4th in Sheng Shui's Lin Tong Mei area. Initial findings suggest possible poisoning, and the case is being treated as animal cruelty.